I want to talk to you about sprinter van business, especially a startup. And there are a few mistakes that you need to really avoid if you are starting a sprinter van business this year. The thing is that this is a very competitive market, sort of similar to the cargo van business. But the sprinter van business actually has a few criteria you need to really pay attention to. Otherwise, you are going to you're going to lose money, you're going to lose time, and you are going to lose resources. So here are the top mistakes I want you to really pay attention to. First of all, make sure you choose a business. Don't say, you know what, I'm going to start a sprinter van a business, and then I'll be doing this on the side. Like I'll be a sole proprietorship. No, I want you to really incorporate, have a legit business. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, having a legit business can sound scary to some people, but it's not. Nowadays, you have companies that can really help you set up your business. So if you want to have a sprinter van startup, I advise you to have a legit business, either a LLC, an S corporation, a C corporation, LLP, whatever. Okay. And the thing is, even LLC, don't think you have to associate yourself with someone to actually have an LLC. No, you can actually have a single member LLC. So it's important to always choose a business. I want you to choose a business. Don't go as a sole proprietorship. The second sprint event mistake I want to really, let's say, avoid is to run your business without a business plan. Again, I'm not asking you to have a 50-page or 100-page business plan for your sprint event startup, but you got to have somewhere to start. You got to have a foundation. That foundation can be a one-page business plan. It can be a two-page business plan. It can be a three-page business plan. It doesn't have to be a lot of pages, but you got to have a foundation. And the business plan for your sprinter van startup is actually that foundation. It's actually that GPS, okay? And do not ignore the necessary licenses and permits in your industry, in your niche, okay? For instance, if you are going to do hazmat for your sprinter van startup, make sure you get the necessary federal and state licenses and permits. Okay, don't actually try to really go it without complying with the law. You're gonna have problems later on. Okay, so do not ignore the law. Please follow the law, comply with the law, abide by the law. Whatever the law says you have to do, make sure you do it. Another mistake for your sprinter van startup that you have to really avoid is to actually run the business without any type of so let's say an online presence. Okay, if you don't want to set up a professional website, that's fine, but you got to have something. You got to either have a social media platform, or you got to have a see. The thing is, nowadays you don't have to spend a lot of cash to actually set up a professional website. Actually, okay, you have a website such as Wix, you have Squarespace, you have a lot of them out there, and they give you the possibility to set up a professional website for a sprint event startup, like within hours, within minutes actually. You don't have to code, you don't have to know coding anything, and you can just you have templates, and you just need to choose a template that adapts to your industry, and that's it. Okay, so do not run a sprint event startup without a professional website. And again, if you want to have if you want to have a website, make sure the website looks professional. Don't try to give me something very basic, something random, something amateurish. No, okay. Also, you want to think about marketing and advertising your business. I'm not asking you to really allocate $1,000 or $10,000 advertising budget to your sprinter vans to your sprinter van business. Chances are you don't even have the 10 grand to spend, right? But the thing is, you gotta find ways. You gotta find innovative ways to market and advertise your business. I don't care how you do it, as long as you get the word out and people know about your sprinter van business. That's really what it is. So do not run your business without marketing and advertising. Nobody's going to like. Don't pray. Don't sit there and pray that the universe, quote unquote, the universe will discover you. No, if you don't get out there and really show your skills and talk about your sprint event, nobody will. Okay, you're the one. You're the first. You're the first supporter of your business, of your sprint event business. So it's again, sometimes you can even just market your sprint event business by talking to folks at the barbershop, for instance, or by just printing some flyers and distributing them downtown, for instance. Whatever it is, you got to really find a way to talk about your business. So those are the top mistakes that I want you to really avoid this year. Okay, let me talk to you about the top trends here. So the thing is, when you have a sprint event startup, you need to understand that there are some industries that are more profitable than others. Okay, don't make the mistake of choosing an industry that's just losing, an industry that's a loser. You gotta still run a profitable sprint event business, and the way to run a profitable business in the sprint event niche is to find sectors that are lucrative, that have potential. The first one is delivery service. If you want to have a sprint event startup, make sure you position yourself as a delivery service. I don't care what kind of deliveries you do, but you got to position yourself as a delivery service. Okay, you can deliver flowers, you can deliver goods, you can deliver clothes, whatever it is. Okay, you can make money. So if you are considering a delivery service for your sprint event business, identify what type of delivery you should actually do or you should do. Will you be delivering groceries, packages, or something else entirely? You got to have a clear idea, okay? Got to have a clear idea. And the reason why you need that clarity is because once you have a clear idea, you have a clear niche, you can attract and retain actually the right customers, okay? That's an important element to really think about. And don't forget, like I said before, you got to have the right licenses. Whatever industry you choose, make sure that you are actually compliant with the law. Because the last thing you want is to have the feds knocking on your door and auditing you and really slapping fees and crazy fees on your sprinter van business. You don't want that. So the delivery service is the first sector to really focus on. Do not ignore delivery service. Another trend that you want to pay attention to is the transportation service. So event transportation. Okay, so you can actually have a sprinter van, and when you have a sprinter van startup, do not ignore event transportation. Event transportation is definitely where it's at, okay? Because there are always events all the time in any city. I don't care if you are in a small town or in a large metropolis. There's something happening, like weddings, concerts, parties, whatever. And when those things happen, when those events happen, you can position your sprinter van as a vehicle to shuttle guests from one location to another. Okay, and guests need to be shuttled around. So this is important. Okay, now the sprinter van may not hold as many passengers as a traditional party bus, right? But it can still provide a luxurious and convenient transportation options for some events. Also, if you are going to have a sprinter van startup, don't make the mistake of ignoring catering. Catering is going to help you big time. Catering is going to help you survive during let's say hard economic times. Okay, so catering services is really important. But what you want to do is you want to really outfit your sprinter van with a kitchen and use it as a mobile catering business, perfect for events or even just serving lunch to offices in the area, right? That's how you make money. That's how you make money. Because see, the thing is, you can't just say, you know what, I want to really just deliver. I would just want to deliver groceries or packages with my sprinter van. No. What if business is not booming in that sector? What if in the area where you are at, people don't need that kind of service? You got to diversify. Don't ever put all your eggs in the same basket. Don't ever put all your eggs in the same basket. You got to diversify. The name of the game is diversification, and the way you actually position yourself is actually by diversifying. Okay, so basically, and by the way, when I speak about catering service, you can do the catering yourself, or you can actually deliver goods or food for catering services in your area. So you can reach out to restaurants, you can reach out to some events managers and say, listen, I want to do catering, but I want to do the delivery for your catering service. Another let's say sector that you should not ignore is actually cleaning. So you can actually do cleaning services. Okay, a lot of sprinter van startup owners they really underestimate the power, the potential of cleaning services, and that's crazy. That's really crazy because Cleaning services make a lot of money all the time. Why? Because people have stuff to clean all the time. It's like if you're selling baby clothes, for instance, people have to, I mean, for humanity to really continue on, people have to make babies all the time, and babies have to be born, right? I mean, I know this is a little like a little basic as an example, but that's what it is. You want to be in a situation where you are offering a service that people need all the time. And cleaning services are one of those categories where people will need cleaning services all the time. So you can stock your Sprinter van with cleaning supplies and offer mobile cleaning services for homes, offices, or even vehicles. So, starting a cleaning business with a Sprinter van allows you to save on overhead costs and gives you the flexibility to travel actually to your client's location. Okay. And this is something to really think about very, very deeply. If you have a Sprinter van startup, do not ignore the mobile retail sector. Here is another moneymaker that you have to really focus on if you want to make money in this sector. Now, what do I mean by mobile retail? The thing is that mobile retail can be anything and everything. Let me explain. Many successful mobile retail companies use a Sprinter van as their primary mode of transportation and sales, right? So, starting a mobile retail business with a Sprinter van can be successful, but you have to know that it's important to be familiar with your industry, know what your target audience is actually expected. Okay, so make sure that your Sprinter van is outfitted correctly for retail purposes. So it may include installing shelves and displaying or installing an electronic payment system. You also want to ensure that the Sprinter van meets all necessary health and safety regulations, especially if you are planning on serving foods and drinks. Okay. And one thing I want to say also is that when I speak about mobile retail, you got to see the competition in your area. Some some states and cities and some localities are more competitive than others. Okay, for to do a mobile retail, you got to look at the let's say the existing offer. Okay, for instance, if you are in New York or LA metro area, the mobile retail offer is way bigger than if you were, like I said, in Dover, Delaware, for instance. Okay, so this is important. So will you got to really also ask yourself if you will primarily serve a specific geographic area or travel to different events and festivals. And social media, by the way, and word of mouth can help spread awareness of your business in the short and long run. But long story short, what you have to do is that you got to really ask yourself what kind of strategy you need to implement. Do not ignore those top five trends I spoke to you about. Okay, delivery service, event transportation, catering service, cleaning services, and mobile retail. If you want to make it in Sprinter Van a business, you gotta pay attention to those trends because those trends, once again, they are your money makers. Now let's talk about money matters. Okay, so how much money can you make with a Sprinter van? I mean, I spoke to you about several trends, several sectors, and several industries. And so, what kind of strategy can you have to can you put in place to make money, and how much can you make in the first place? Okay, now have the as with everything else, the amount of money you make depends on several things. Okay, and geography being number one. Like I was telling you, the amount of money you make in Sprinter van, let's say in New York, in LA, in Chicago, in Dallas, in those big metro areas, it's not the same money that you make if you are in a small town in rural Delaware, for instance, or Rhode Island. So the amount of money you ultimately make or can make with a Sprinter van depends on various factors, including the type of business or services you offer, your pricing strategy, and the demand for those offerings in your area, right? It's all about supply and demand. Supply and demand are going to determine the pricing tiers you put in place, okay? You have to understand that that's an important element to consider, but Sprinter vans can be pretty profitable because they offer a large amount of space and, versatility. The space is what you need actually, as long as you know how to monetize that space, how to really exploit, leverage that space profitably. That's good. Okay. So you can use, whether you are in delivery, event transportation, or even mobile retail, you can do a lot. Okay. So one thing I want to say here is that make sure that you are able to do your math, know your break even point, know your total cost per month, know your break even point, and know what kind of profit margin you want to tack on. You want to tack on your prices. That will help you have a clear idea about how much to charge. Do you want to have 20% profit margin? Do you want to have 25% profit margin? Have 30% profit margin? What kind of how much or what profit margin would you be comfortable taking home every single month? That's going to help you actually survive in this industry. Okay. And the thing is, if you're offering a specialized service or product, you can charge premium rates. Alternatively, if you focus on volume and efficiency, you may be able to make a steady income by offering competitive rates for services such as delivery or transportation. So, if you are thinking about having a sprinter van startup, don't forget about maintenance. Okay, you need to maintain the vehicle. You need to maintain the vehicle that makes the money. You need to feed the vehicle that makes the money. Don't say, well, you know what, I'm just going to focus on revenue. You got to focus on maintenance. If that vehicle is not quote unquote healthy, if that vehicle is not well maintained, you cannot make money. Okay. And when I speak about maintaining the vehicle, I'm not just speaking about making sure that you drive every now and then to your garage, talk to your mechanic, and make sure things are taken care of. No, I mean that's one aspect of it, but you have other aspects. Licensing, for instance, having the proper licenses, that's part of the maintenance too. Insurance, insurance, that's part of warranty, for instance. Those are specific maintenance criteria you need to maintain. Otherwise, you can't really use your sprinter van as a money making machine. Okay, so when it comes to your van, make sure you're getting the best in terms of insurance, licensing, warranty, mechanic, whatever. Okay, and you want to make sure you are really getting the best product out. That way, you can increase your chances of making lots of money in a scalable manner. I always insist when I talk about the Sprinter Van startup, I always insist on the scalability aspect of things. Like it's not just about making money in 3 months, making money in 6 months, making money this year. That really matters. It's making money 10 years from now. It's making money 20 years from now. It's making money 30 years from now. Maybe you don't care about that long of a time frame, but you should, because the sprinter van is a very profitable industry. But you got to have the right foundation from the get go for you to survive. Actually, for you to survive. And one thing I want to say is that this survival of your sprinter van business is only possible if you are avoiding the mistakes that I just spoke about in today's conversation. In conclusion, to this conversation, I spoke to you about the sprinter van startup mistakes to actually avoid. I gave you the top mistakes, the top trends afterwards, and money matters. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.